Alright, hello guys, this is Unit 2, Section 1, and we're going to go over the sketches today. So, this is probably where everything starts in Fusion. There's other things called form, which you can make like different ways, but we don't really use that. So, we're just going to stick with sketch. This is going to be like a follow along, so make sure you have it open on your screen also, and we're gonna be sketching out a battering today as our first sketch. And you might be a little overwhelmed looking at this, like how are you gonna sketch this? But don't worry, I'll walk everyone through it. So the first thing you're going to do when you create a sketch, you're going to see these different planes. And basically this is the 2D object you're going to first make, which extends out and you extrude it out to make this 3D object. But just for this case, we're going to teach you just how to make sketches. So typically I like doing the top plane, and I like selecting this plane. And then we have a bunch of tools in this create that we use a lot. Some of the most notable is line, rectangle, circle. If I was you, I would hover over a rectangle, hover over center rectangle, click these three dots and pin it to toolbar because I like using it a lot, and it's something pretty useful. So I like to pin that. And if the sketch dimension is not pinned for you guys, make sure to pin that one because we use that one a lot. Something you'll notice right off the bat when you're, let's say I'm making a rectangle right here, you see two defined lines and then two undefined lines. And you can tell they're undefined is because they're blue. And what that means is you can extend it and you can extend it. And you might be wondering what makes it, how can I define it, and how do I make sure, like, if I want something that's exactly 2 inches, how do I make it 2 inches? And that's where the sketch dimension tool comes in. We can put 2 inches, um, I, I, and then press enter, and then go here, press 2 inches and enter. And that's how you have a defined object. But you also may be wondering, what about if I want it like 5 inches this way or something, or like 2 inches this way? The whole thing is blue, and that's because I didn't start it off this origin point, and that's where everything starts. So if you're trying to make an object off of this origin point, which typically you don't really need to, I can't think of a case where I would start, but you can use your sketch dimension off this point, and then you can do 2 inches that way. And that's not going to define it, because obviously you could still like do a lot of stuff with it, but it's gonna start to define it. So I can do more defining stuff. I can go like here to here if I wanted to, here to here, like there you go. But there's other ways to define an object also. Another really useful one is construction tools. So let's say I go to this line over here, and there's a construction tool right here. I can click that, or I can click X, and I'll select it. It's just personal preference what you want, but you can go from this corner to this corner, and then you can define that. So let's say I want it 3 inches, and then we can define it this way, and boom. So typically I use sketch dimension, but construction lines can definitely help with defining things. So I'm just gonna select all of this, delete it. Um, the next thing I want to cover is let's figure out how we can get our image on here so we can trace it. So I have this image over here. I've already downloaded it and put it in a safe place, but how you do it is just save image as, and then you can save it on your computer. I just typed in battering. I mean, you can trace another image if you want, but for this sake, I'm just going to do a battering. So I'm going to click this icon right here. It's going to take a little bit to load, and then you're going to do insert from computer. And then I saved it over here. Click this face right here, scale it to however large you want. I'll do 7 for this case. And now that you have this image here, you're just gonna trace it. So how I would like to do this is, oh shoot, it's not even centered properly. That's pretty annoying. It's okay, we can work around it. So how I typically like to do these things is, since it's symmetrical, I'm gonna teach you how to use the mirror tool. So first things first, I'm gonna put my points from here to here with the construction tool selected, construction line, and let's say your line's like this, just go over here, you can change it after. So this is pretty much the center. It's kind of annoying that it's not centered in this thing, but we'll make do. The next thing I'm going to teach you how to do is, you may be wondering how you do this arc here. You might think like, oh, circle or something like that, but no. There's something called the fit point spline, and you can go from this point all the way to this point. Then you have that selected. Press escape so you don't have it selected anymore, and then you can match this arc pretty perfectly. This one you're gonna want to change to not construction, obviously, because it's a defined line. I'm gonna do the same thing right here, here to here. You can tell I'm just estimating here. When you're actually making a sketch that needs measurements, obviously, you can use your sketch dimension tool, but for this case, I'm just showing you how to trace it. Same thing, don't make construction. Forgot to change that. Then we're gonna go over from to line. Um, why is it still in construction? It's pretty annoying. Let me click out of it. Okay, and I'm gonna click over here about. And I showed you guys how to zoom in and out. It's just a scroll wheel. Oh, you may be wondering how I'm panning left and right, and I'll show you real quick. You press down on the middle mouse button, like hold it down like this, and you can see at the bottom the pan tool right here is being selected. So I press down the middle mouse button and I move my screen left, right, up, down, and that's how you pan. It's pretty useful. So you can move anywhere you want, and it just goes from the point you selected. So like that, and then you can zoom so you have a perfect, you can see everything in the 2D axis. I'll teach you another way to do it in the 3D axis, but that is more in the extrude video. And then let's finish up over here. I think I'll go here first. Oh, that's pretty decent, I guess. It doesn't really have to be perfect. Obviously, it's just for the case of this video. I'm trying to make it look good. So you guys, it's kind of weird over here. I think I can move this down here. Oh no, what's going on? I'm just pressing Control Z real quick because I'm kind of a perfectionist, so that's probably why I'm taking my precious time with this little arc over here. And we can go to line. Shoot, like that, I guess. Like that. And then for the end, I think it's more flat at the top, but we can change that in extrusion. And then our final point right here. What? Our final, oh wait, it's this. Our final point from here to here. I'll curve that a little bit. Not that way. Alright, that's probably good. Okay, so now that we have the whole left side, you may be wondering, okay, let's start doing the other side. But no, I'm going to teach you a pretty cool trick. It's the mirror tool. So you're going to click all your lines you just made. Make sure you don't click this one. I'll show you why in just a second. But now that all of them are selected, you're going to see this pop-up right here. And the objects you want to mirror are selected, but you have to mirror over a line, and that's why we made this construction line, so we can mirror it here, and here's an object. So now that we have our sketch, we're able to go to extrusion.